50 got stabbed that day, right? He did get stabbed, right?
Up with that.
Okay.
So I'm on like United in first class, and 50 Cent walks in. I'm like, oh shit, we haven't seen each other in like 10 years. You know, like in the last interview with Yayo, I was like, oh, 50 Cent hates you. We're not gonna do interviews anymore until you know 50 Cent gonna pay me millions to do it.
Did you really offer Tony Yayo millions of dollars to not do Vlad TV interviews?
I didn't want him to do it. He always says some stuff I wouldn't say. Like I don't know why he's doing it. It's not enough involved in it for him to have to say that.
Jewish is not a race, but we've made it a race because we could
it kind of is.
When you be Ashkenazi, would you be considered Ashkenazi?
I'm an Ashkenazi Jew, and I'm an Ashkenazi Jew, and
DJ Vlad built his whole brand acting like he was deep in the culture, chopping it up with rappers, hustlers, and so-called street legends like he'd walked those same blocks himself. But word in the game has been brewing for years.
And I guess you and your friend stole something from a store and you tried running from the police?
Yeah, that was the first time, bro. Damn, how the know this shit? What the God damn.
I'm the feds, man. I'm the feds. I know everything.
Yeah, bro.
People whisper that Vlad's been way too cozy with federal agencies, running his platform like a slick trap, catching black artists in his net just to hand them over to the system. And it wasn't only rappers in the crosshairs. Rumors say Vlad even tried to line up comedian Godfrey for a setup. When that play didn't work, he flipped the script, lining up back-to-back interviews with folks like Aries Spears and Lord Jamar just to drag Godfrey's name through the mud.
And he is right there, sitting there, taking photos with Vlad. He damn near have the same shorts on.
Lord Jamar.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I feel sorry for him though, because there was
you gotta sell something.
But the hell no.
Like a soul.
Yeah, you gotta sell.
Like, how much does a soul cost?
Vlad might have thought his smooth-talking ways could cool down the backlash, but the streets weren't buying that act anymore. Then 50 Cent stepped into the mix, dropping some dark receipts that could change how people see Vlad forever.
This is DJ Vlad. I only bring this up because everybody doesn't know who he is. His name is Vlad, so, it should, hit your mind like this is what a Vlad could look like. But people don't be thinking that. They be like, this is Vlad, and some people know. Maybe you did, but if you didn't know this is what DJ Vlad looked like, this is what he looked like.
According to 50, no one should be touching Vlad TV, point blank. He says Vladislav Lyubovny, this Ukrainian-born figure using the name DJ Vlad, isn't a real DJ and definitely not a genuine journalist. 50 labels him an industry plant, dangerous enough to be playing both sides, working not just with government agencies but with shadowy power players behind the curtain. Think it sounds like wild conspiracy talk? 50 swears it's real. So real he even joked about dropping millions on Tony Yayo if he just keep his voice off Vlad's platform.
Really offer Tony Yayo millions of dollars to not do Vlad TV interviews?
I didn't want him to do it. He always says some stuff I wouldn't say. Like I don't know why he's doing it. It's not enough involved in it for him to have to say that.
You be calling him after like, yo, why did you?
I don't know why you're talking about me. Like, what's wrong? You have to stop it, bro. You have to find other things to do.
But 50 wasn't just running his mouth, and he moved quick. When Vlad posted a clip titled Cal Dawson was in the car when 50 Cent got shot 9 times, part 3, claiming Cal caught bullets too, 50 saw red. He blasted the screenshot on IG with the caption, "I want this video taken down now," and stamped one big word across it, fraudulent. The reaction was instant. Vlad pulled that video down faster than anyone expected. To 50, that was all the proof needed that Vlad knew he had crossed a serious line.
This is coming off the heels of Farrakhan's 4th of July speech. Sure. Where he said, those of you that say you're Jews, I will not give you the honor of calling you a Jew. You're not a Jew. You're so-called, you're Satan. And it's my job now to pull the cover off of Satan. And he went on to say, like, every Muslim, when they see a fake Jew, grab a rock. And this is kind of what I feel is the energy, and a lot of people look up to Farrakhan.
But that was just the surface. The Godfrey drama peeled back a darker layer of who Vlad really is. It traces back to 2020 when Vlad sat with D.L. Hewley and started talking about Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's when sparks turned into a blaze, because Vlad didn't just report Farrakhan's words, he twisted them completely, setting off a firestorm that still hasn't cooled down. Vlad went on air telling viewers that Minister Farrakhan said all Jewish people are Satan, and supposedly told his followers to literally throw rocks at them, but the actual speech, completely different. Farrakhan was speaking metaphorically, urging people to pick up the stone of truth against so-called Jews who were lying about being the true Jews, and to stand firm in truth. No calls for physical violence, just straight symbolism.
Those of you that say that you are Jews, I will not even give you the honor of calling you a Jew. You're not a Jew. You're so-called. When you know who Satan is, you don't have to kill him, no. The stone of truth. See, that's what you throw. We cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more, so wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth.
That false spin lit up the culture quick, and heavy hitters stepped in to check Vlad for twisting the minister's words beyond recognition. One of the loudest voices calling him out, Godfrey, and he wasn't buying the whole oops, my bad excuse.
That's like me lying on Rush Limbaugh. Let's say Rush Limbaugh, you know Rush, he racist mother. But if I go, Rush Limbaugh said that he wants everybody, all the black people to die. If I lied, I owe him an apology. He didn't say that, period. He didn't say it. You know what I mean? You can't just be lying, and that's a dangerous thing. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, I would rather have the NOI on my side.
Yeah.
I'll take the Nation of Islam any goddamn thing.
Godfrey came out swinging, saying Vlad was doing exactly what he was planted in the game to do, stir confusion and division in the black community on purpose. Godfrey dropped a video with a clear message. Vlad TV is canceled. We have to protect our culture from the vultures. Then he linked up with Lord Jamar, Masan the General, and Royce the 5'9" to launch a full-on boycott of Vlad TV. He torched Vlad for refusing to apologize for the false claims about Farrakhan, and then hit the crowd with a bombshell. Vlad is married to a black woman, yet still makes a fortune off negativity and black pain. But that's when it got grimy.
Me, Lord Jamar, Masan the General, and Royce the 5'9" from Eminem's camp, we've all decided to join forces and just stop doing Vlad TV. If you guys don't know Vlad TV, it's on YouTube. It's an interview show, pretty much an urban interview show, because most of the people he's interviewed for the past 10 years have been all black people. Not too long ago, he made some statements about Minister Farrakhan which weren't true and were not fair, even if you don't like him. And as a Jewish man, he feels that Farrakhan insults his people. Fine. You can feel the way you want to feel, but lying on people does not work. That's not cool. I don't care who it was. It could have been Maxine Waters. It could have been Al Sharpton's corny. But you lie on somebody and then you get the truth told to you and you end up being looking. You should apologize. Issue an apology. Even big companies that black people all the time issue apologies so they can get that money. You know, we need to stand on code, protect our culture, just like Vlad decided not to apologize. He wants to protect his culture. Okay, so we stood on ours. So we are not going to, we unsubscribe to Vlad. You all should unsubscribe to Vlad. If you're African American, you have some integrity.
Lord Jamar, who had been a regular face on Vlad TV just like Godfrey, was riding hard for the boycott at first, calling out Vlad and agreeing it was the right stand to take. But while Godfrey stayed locked in, Jamar quietly crept back onto Vlad's platform for interviews and collabs. Then in a messy twist, he joined forces with Vlad to throw shade at Godfrey, calling him not solid. One moment they were shoulder to shoulder against the so-called culture vulture. The next, Jamar was right back in the vulture's nest. And if that wasn't enough, Vlad pulled another snake move, twisting Godfrey's own words to make it seem like he disrespected his family. The setup was clear as day, and fans weren't fooled. Most people backed Godfrey, especially since Lord Jamar calling him not solid was pure comedy.
You know, you can't just, you know, it's everybody, you know, you can date black women and marry them and all of a sudden you can't respect us. No, I'm getting a little tired of that. Getting a little tired of being used monetarily and you. That's any culture protects their culture. If black people say anything bad about any culture, we have to apologize right away, just like Nick Cannon did, right? So I think if you insult us, you should apologize to us. We are not animals. We are not some amusement fucking ride that you can get on when you want to. Well, this ride is derailing. For his decision. No hate. just business.
When Jamar is the one who bolted back to Vlad after swearing he'd never return. That's the definition of shady business. What made it worse?
I actually ran into Godfrey. So a week or two earlier, and you know, I'm there, and my security's with me. So as I see he's coming out, you know, we both stand up. And, you know, he's walking by. I said, "What's up, Godfrey?" The first thing he does is put out his hand and shake my hand. And as I'm shaking his hand, I said, "You and I need to talk." I looked Godfrey in the eyes, you know, as we're shaking hands, and I said, we need to talk. He goes, "Okay." And he runs off real quick.
Never to be seen.
Well, I know somebody that still talks to him, so that person gave me his current phone number. So I texted him and I said, "Yo, this is Vlad. We need to talk." And he never responded.
Hey. Yeah. I can't speak for him.
Well, you and him just had a falling out.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into it, man, because he's, you know. He's just not a solid dude, man. I always had I knew from the minute he said, "Oh, let's just take a break." And we discussed, we didn't say nothing about no breaks.
Lord Jamar actually reached out to Vlad, a white man, to smooth things over, but wouldn't even give Godfrey, who had never wronged him, the same respect. Watching it unfold was messy. Vlad sat there during the reunion interview, grinning in Jamar's face, tossing little slick shots.
Because I feel like he was the most outspoken. He was the one that was doing interviews saying I should be canceled and talking about my family and stuff like that. So if anyone should have a conversation with me, I think it should be him. But clearly, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to have that conversation.
And Jamar just nodded along like every word was gospel. The irony. Jamar had once gone on record saying Godfrey would be the first one to crawl back to Vlad. So when Godfrey saw that hypocrisy play out, he didn't hold back, calling Jamar out for selling his soul and reminding him of his own past words. And their history runs deep. Back when Godfrey was still showing up on Vlad TV, he wasn't just a guest. He would check Vlad to his face. In one heated moment, Vlad complained the U.S. would go bankrupt if it ever paid Black Americans reparations.
And he is right there, sitting there, taking photos with Vlad.
Hey,
Damn near have the same shorts on.
Lord Jamar! It's been 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I feel sorry
Yeah, he
for him,
probably
though,
got a
because
bag.
there was
Yeah,
no
you gotta
bag.
sell something.
But the hell no.
Like a soul.
Yeah, you gotta sell.
Like, how much does a soul cost?
Godfrey shut him down quick, pointing out how the government never hesitates to spend trillions on military defense or send massive stacks of cash to certain so-called allies overseas. Now it's clear why 50 Cent is willing to drop millions just to keep his people off Vlad's couch. This isn't just about disrespect, it's about a bigger, uglier picture. Word on the street is Vlad has deep ties to federal agencies, allegedly helping them fill their quota of locking up Black men.
No, what I'm saying is
tens of millions of people, of Black people.
Black people
Okay.
who would get that.
Yeah.
It would bankrupt the whole country.
It would bankrupt the whole country, but for the people that built the country to make you the money,
Yeah.
you understand? You know, all of a sudden now you worried about being bankrupt when you spend trillions of dollars on defense, trillions of dollars on unnecessary, trillions of dollars to send Black men, especially to jail, trillions of dollars to up our whole country, trillions of dollars to food up, the air up, the water up, trillions of dollars to make people sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in this country, but you mad? We don't have the money because, and this is what I think, and this is what I believe, you just don't like Black people. Plain and simple, you do not like Black people.
For years, rappers have walked into Vlad TV thinking they were just there for another interview, only to realize halfway through that the questions were razor precise, digging way too deep into their personal lives. By the time they caught on, the damage was done. It felt like Vlad had their case files in front of him, pulling out old charges, unsolved street situations, and names that never even hit the news. Stuff he had no business knowing unless he had a direct line to law enforcement. Like when he casually mentioned Lil Baby getting into a fight with a white dude in prison, something Baby himself had never spoken on publicly.
Okay, you got into a fight with a white dude.
Exactly.
Was it like a racist thing? Was it like whites and blacks kind of clicked up in there?
How you know that?
Well, that's just how prison is most times.
I'm telling you, how you know I got into it with a white dude though?
Then there's his sly Fed-style trick saying, "I think you said it," a psychological move to make guests doubt their own memory and lower their guard. That's pure interrogation room strategy. Some artists finally caught the pattern. Lil Woody flat out said he believes Vlad works with the feds based solely on the way his questions are so sharp and incriminating.
Like when you come out the streets, we got real spider sense. And they go off. They tell her, like, yeah, something ain't right. So I'm like, cool. As soon as I get there, I shake Vlad's hand, something ain't right. When I sat down and started talking to Vlad, Vlad knew how to ask questions the same way the police did. Like my whole childhood, I watched cops. I watch how the police.
First 48.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I know their strategy. And then when Vlad asked me a certain question and I lied to him, I saw the look in his eyes. I thought he got mad. I said, oh, this I lied. It was over with for then. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he the police. There's nothing nobody else can tell me.
And it's not only rappers peeping game. Remember when Agent Vlad tried to bait Mike Tyson into naming his old street affiliates? Or when he crossed the line entirely, aiming to get a black woman fired from her Princeton University job, Vlad even dove headfirst into the Kendrick versus Drake beef, throwing shade at Kendrick's smash diss, Not Like Us, by claiming it needed a better mix. That's when Professor Morgan Jerkins stepped in and checked him with one sharp line. "You are white. This is a black folk affair." Instead of brushing it off, Vlad got defensive, tagged Princeton, and clapped back. "Wait, so a professor at Princeton is telling me a white person can't have an opinion on hip-hop? Is that how you interact with your students?" But he didn't stop there, not even close. When Jerkins clarified her point, saying that conversations about Not Like Us should center black voices, Vlad doubled down.
Zip was kind of the go-between between like Puffy and all the Southside Crips.
Maybe.
You know, what is it, you know, here you are, this multimillionaire, and, you know, it seems like you've always been attracted to the guys that are still in the streets to a certain degree. Do you think that's a fair statement?
You think I'm attracted to them?
Well, not attracted to them, but I mean, you like having them around. You're friends with them and you
You
maintain
think I like
this.
having them around?
I'm just asking.
You think I'm friends? What do you think? You think I like having them around?
I don't know. You just spoke nicely about Zip, so I just
Yeah, you know who these guys are? When you talk, what do you say about me? I'm this big, whatever I am, right? But know who those guys are? Those are the guys that when I'm, whoever I am is a nobody, I mean, those are the guys that live in the same building with me. That gives my mother salt or sugar if they need, or milk. They're the same guys.
He accused her of backpedaling and boldly declared he'd reach out to Princeton on Monday. Over a tweet, he was basically threatening to snitch her out to her employer and put her job on the line. And yet, this same man had the audacity to call out Nicki Minaj just last month for taking shots at Rock Nation. He even fired back at one of her ex-posts with the nickname Snitchy Minaj. That didn't go over well. Replies flooded in with one person writing, "You literally bring rappers on your platform because you're an informant." Another user cut straight to it. "You and your master Jay-Z have a literal CIA informant as your CEO. Nobody cares about snitching, not even you. Loser. Stay out of black folks' business. Don't make us call Rick Ross." They even reminded everyone about the time Vlad reportedly ran to the feds after Rick Ross allegedly sent someone to put hands on him. But here's where it jumps from shady to downright dangerous. Insiders say Vlad has now set his sights on 50 Cent, allegedly plotting to trap him in some kind of legal mess or create enough drama to try and take him down. Why? Because Vlad isn't just hosting a show. He's allegedly a puppet for shadowy power players using his platform to silence, smear, and control hip-hop's most powerful voices. If Vlad really thinks he can come for 50 and walk away without consequences, he's about to get a reality check like never before. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild saga. See you in the next one.